I might go into the hot tub where my friends are at and see if I can get them to come online.
Oh, stay tuned, radio listeners. Hot tub special here in the comedy meteorology report. Gotta get in a hot tub. Hey,
Stay tuned.
well. It's a hot tub. Okay, stay tuned. All right, here we go.
Just got the fat
Uh,
check for
My name Mark Ingalls.
pushing that agenda. It says here, HARP, climate change, whatever, in my bank account.
Okay, still to come on the show, we got meteorologist Mark now. We got a song from Hilding to play, and we got Frankie videos of the week. Let's cram it all in. Let's go.
All right, I'll be quick tonight. Karen, my wife found out I was cheating on her, and after she found all the letters I was hiding, and she got really mad, and she said she's never playing Scrabble with me again.
Yeah.
All right, now that that's over with, I actually wanted to do some show and tell. I'm sorry for the radio listeners, but I will describe this a little better than Ryan describes things. I went to the bank today. I think he forgets this is a radio show. I went to the bank today to pull out a bunch of Japanese yen because we're going to Japan next month, and these bills look like they're from the 1940s. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Japanese yen, and if you haven't, definitely go look it up. But like, these things look like they're from the 1940s.
Like, dude, I've
Um,
barely seen Canadian money.
yeah, my daughter is like, "Why did you bring back the pink one?" And I was like, "No, I was getting Japanese money, not Canadian money." And it was funny. The teller that was working with me, you could tell he had never done something like this before because the yen is about 100 to 1 to CAD. And so he's like, he was really struggling counting out thousands. And I've never had cash counted out to me in thousands at the bank. That felt really nice, even though, you know, 100 to 1, but a guy can dream. Maybe someday I'll have Canadian dollars counted out to me.
It's like if you
And
went to Vietnam in the 60s, with $2, and you're like, I'm a millionaire.
right, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited, and so I just wanted to show and tell that. Okay, now weather. Um, the blob is here. The main topic tonight that I'm going to talk about is the blob, and when we're talking about the blob, what we mean is,
The
uh,
blob.
yeah, that's what we mean. What we mean is sea surface temperatures off the Pacific Northwest and California coast. These are above average significantly. And that seems to be driving a lot of the dry weather that we're having down here in the lower mainland, but also driving the very active weather that Prince Rupert is having. And Karen is probably having some of it. I know Joey's getting in on this, all this active weather. And it's also what's driving the warm weather in Alberta for Brandon. And I think it even extends all the way to Manitoba, because the heat in the Pacific Ocean, like in, in the ocean, not in the air, but in the water, reinforces the high pressure system that's along the west coast of North America, and that sends the storm track up north to southeast Alaska and the BC North Coast, and then that storm track continues in the northern part of the continent. That's not to say that we can't get short-lived systems down into like the Great Lakes region, but it is less favorable to do so under these conditions. And so like
The blob.
my dad keeps being like, when am I going to get snow? My dad's in Warroad, Minnesota, about 2 hours southeast of Winnipeg. And he's like, when am I going to get snow? And I'm like, when are you going to fly to Alaska, Dad? Because it's not coming anytime soon. um, like, I think this is going to be a theme for the summer. We do have Enzo neutral right now, trending towards a weak La Nina. I think our weak La Nina is going to be more like Enzo neutral, and that's typically very active fall storm season for the Pacific Northwest. But the blob matters more. This makes sense because the blob is directly offshore rather than all the way down in the equatorial Pacific, even south of where Ryan is at tonight.
The blob.
Um, the blob. Yeah, that's right. There is some hope out of snowfall in Siberia. But even that, like, the blob is closer than Siberia is by, quite a bit. Um, it may, like, seasonal forecasts are always kind of a shot in the dark. and I definitely want to give that impression before going on. But for like the southern third of British Columbia, going over into Brandon Houck land and going over to Mike land over there in Winnipeg, like we may see a pretty warm and dry uh October, which is really disappointing for me. And then it depends on a couple of things moving forward from October. Does the blob remain in place? How much snow does Siberia get? And the reason why Siberia matters is because we build this high pressure system. You can look up the Siberian high if you're really interested, or you can find me on Facebook at Ingalls Weather, and then we could talk about that. You like that plug, Joey?
The Blob.
So that's the situation where we're at. I think for Vancouver and Kelowna and Kamloops and Brooks and Winnipeg, the trend appears to be for October warm and dry. That's not to say we won't get rain or we won't get cool days here and there, but warm and dry seems to be favored for October. Um,
But also
and
blobby.
then but also blobby. And then on the North Coast, and in Karen's gonna really hate October, I think. I think it's gonna rain a lot more than she wants it to. And that sucks for her, but like I can't
Like a
relate to
lot
that
more
feeling at all.
blobs, a lot more blobs for
Yeah,
me.
you're gonna get a lot more rain blobs, that's right. And I think Joey may even, well, I don't know that this is actually necessarily a good situation for snow. I think Joey will get a bit of rain, and I think there will be a bit of snow up in the mountains. But
Dude, it
with
snowed on the mountains today.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I got
don't
a
worry.
question,
That's
Mark.
awesome.
So does that gonna impact our winter snowpack if it's at INSO neutral?
Well, that's the big question, right? How much of an impact does the blob play into our winter snowpack? And honest, like everything you're going to see is going to lean towards the blob kind of weakening, which would then be favorable for a kind of close to normal snow event or snowpack over the winter. But at the same time, like the models are just going to trend towards average. So what's going to happen is we need to see what happens over the course of October with these sea surface temperatures right off the northwest coast. We need to see what happens again with the snow in Siberia because of how that develops the Siberian high, and then that impacts the wave pattern downstream, which we are downstream of Siberia.
So
So
that
there's
would
there's a
affect
lot of factors, and
you.
there's a lot of factors, and the main answer is I don't really know. I don't feel bullish about snow in anywhere in like the southern. We'll say anywhere south of like 41 degrees north. I don't feel very bullish about snow, but at the same time, if the blob weakens, then that becomes a lot more favorable for all of us.
The
So
Blob.
that's my non-answer. And yeah, I said I was going to be quick, and then it was 12 minutes long. But
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, meteorologist Mark, for talking about
Real quick,
the
real
Blob.
quick. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Castbox.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, find the show on there. Come meteorology. If you can spell it, find it there.